I feel the exact same now as I did when I was 20, with a little help from estrogen. Cheers! And welcome to my channel. I'm Andri. Today's video is all about embracing your 50s plus. But before we get started, I invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. Whilst you're there, you can ring my bell, which will notify you every time I upload a video. And don't forget a thumbs up, because it's always very much appreciated. Okay, now that's done, let's move on to embracing our 50s plus, enjoying our more mature years. Like right now, at this precise moment in time, you are the youngest you will ever be. So enjoy it. Enjoy the now. This is what I've learned in my 50s. Enjoying the moment. Not worrying about the future. Not looking forward to the future all the time. Or worrying about the past. Enjoy now. That's one thing I have really learned in my more mature years. I hate that word. Now, before I get into all the lovely things about being more mature, I want to also add here, of course, every age group has its advantages and has its disadvantages. You know, in every age group we have highs and we have lows. That can happen at any age. So with that being said, let's now move on to embracing our more mature years. So I started to do a little bit of research about being 50 plus, and the titles I was coming across were all quite negative. That's what they implied to me. They were quite negative titles. So it was titles like losing weight at 50, which implied as soon as you're going to turn 50 you're going to put on weight. Or exercise for 50, like you would have to do a different type of exercise once you turn 50, like you needed to slow down. It implied, you know, you would need to take it a lot easier. Let me tell you that exercise depends on the individual's fitness. It's got nothing to do with your age. Absolutely nothing to do with your age. There was titles on how to look 10 years younger at 50, implying that as soon as you turn 50 you're going to look like an old so-and-so. So you need to look younger than you actually look, than your age. Why? Honestly. So to me, this implied they were all negative titles. So I'm going to do a video on embracing 50 and all the wonderful things there are about being 50. And actually, being 50 is not old. Not at all. Or at least, I don't feel old. I honestly feel the same way as I did when I was a lot younger. The way I think has changed, yes, but I don't feel old. I honestly don't feel any older than when I was 20. But the way I think has changed, yes, for the better. Which brings me on to a statement a lot of people make. And it's when they look at somebody and they say, oh, you look great for 50, or you look fantastic for your age. Really? You know, yes, that sounds lovely when somebody says it to you. But again, that's implying that they expected you for that age to look older. So what does a 50-year-old look like? Like, is a 50-year-old supposed to look old and haggard and wrinkled? No, of course not, because being 50 is not old. To me, that statement ages somebody straight away. The minute you say to somebody, oh, you look good for your age, that ages that person. Now, the statement I love to hear, and I'm gonna be honest, see when I'm with my grandchildren and people assume they're my children, now that's an amazing feeling, let me tell you. See when somebody says to my grandchildren, oh, go and tell your mum, and I go, actually I'm their grandmother. Now that's a nice statement to say to somebody. Not, oh, you look good for your age. Really? So, my age is not that old actually. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk about the actual advantages of being 50. All the things that I have learned in my more mature years. Number one, you gain a freedom. You don't have those heavy responsibilities that you used to have. You know, the responsibilities of being mum, making sure, and I was a competitive mum, let me tell you. My children had to be in the top groups at school. They had to be the fastest, swim the fastest, you know, have the main part in the school plays. I was that mother, and that was stressful. It is amazing now not to have all those worries and to have learned that actually those things don't really matter. But let me tell you, when I was that young mother, I was that competitive mother. I see my grandchildren now, and I wouldn't dream of putting those things on them. I would not dream of being a competitive grandmother. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just a competitive person. I think I'm going to take that back. I think I'm going to have to edit that bit out because I still have that bit of competitive nature. Anyway, let's start again. Now, you have 50 years of life experience. You are wiser. You have so much more knowledge than you ever had before. You know yourself better. You're more comfortable in your own skin. You learn it's okay not to be liked by everybody. You learn to accept others for what they are and not try and change them. You have the freedom to do the things that you want to do. You're not afraid of doing them anymore. You're not afraid of doing them because of what other people will think. You learn that the opinions of people that don't matter, don't matter. You learn and accept that somebody else's negativity towards you says more about them. You learn to appreciate life now more than you have ever done in the past. You learn to appreciate the moment. You learn that it's the small things that are actually the big things. The wee smile somebody can give you, the hugs, enjoying the moment. You start living life on your own terms, and that's a wonderful feeling. And you know, the wonderful thing is you're still young enough to enjoy things. You're still young enough to do things because we are not old just because we are in our 50s. Embrace being in your 50s. You know, my mum used to always say to me, enjoy the things while you can do them. Because she used to say to me, one day you'll get to an age where you'll not be able to do them and you'll not want to do them. So enjoy it. And if you're one of those people that is worried about turning 50 or being in their 50s, 50's wonderful. 50, you can have the time of your life. It's up to you. So if you've tuned into this video because you're going to be 50 and you're worried about being 50, or if you're younger and you think 50 is being old, let me tell you, 50 is not being old. I am loving life at 50. I am young enough that I can enjoy my grandchildren. I can exercise the same as I did when I was 20. There isn't anything that I can't do now that I did when I was in my 20s. And I have the confidence now to do and say what I want to do. I think I was always a bit like that, right enough. But you know what I'm saying. Just enjoy life, whatever age you are. Don't worry about being 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Enjoy it, embrace it, make the most of it. I would love to hear your thoughts about getting older or how you felt turning 50 or 40 or whatever age you are. I mean, I know for me, Turning 30 was a big one for me. You quite often hear people saying, oh, I'm going to be in my 40s. I loved my 40s. I loved every different stage I was at, you know, but I remember turning 30 was like a big step for me. I still remember thinking, wow, this is it now. But actually, I've loved every different stage. I mean, I was married at 17. I had my children in my 20s. So when I turned 30, it was like, oh, right, okay, what do I do now? Even though I was a wife and I was already a mother, it was like, oh, is this it? Am I getting older now? It was. I remember it being a big thing. But I also remember starting to kind of find myself in my 30s. And yeah, so here I am now in my 50s, 55, making the most of 55 because next week I'm going to be 56, and just loving it. And like I said, I still feel if I'm in my 20s, I just have a wee bit more up there now. Some would disagree, but anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Make sure you put down in the comments, you know, what's been your favourite age group, how, if you're in your 50s or 60s, wherever you're at, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear about them. I'd love to read them in the comments. Anyway, thank you very much for me. I'm going to wish you a happy Valentine's because it's February the 14th here, hence the red. And if you would like to see more videos from me, I'm going to link one here, and if you're not already subscribed, I invite you to subscribe by pressing the A right here. Cheers! I'm off to have my Valentine's dinner now and a wee glass of something.